Hi everybody. This is going to be a real short, sweet video. I think this says it all right here. This is a quote by the last real president that we had. Anybody that ever spoke out against the Illuminati that had a vast amount of influence on a large group or a large portion of any population or the world population, John Kennedy would have been one of those people. So I'm going to read just this quote, and it's, I believe, why he was killed, because of this statement right here. Listen real close, because I got to read it off a monitor. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, 1917 to 1963. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system that has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. I believe that statement got John Fitzgerald Kennedy murdered. I truly believe that. Y'all are entitled to believe whatever you want. I've heard all kinds of conspiracy theories about who killed him, why he killed him. But I always go by three things. Who had the most to gain, or who had the most to lose? Follow the money. And who had the means and the resources to carry out that heinous of an act? And you know who I came up with? The bankers. The elitists. You want to know why? Number one, they sure had enough money. They were fraudulently, their biggest counterfeiting outfit in the world is the Federal Reserve. Anybody knows that. That money's not even backed by anything. It's backed by derivatives and phony junk bonds and garbage. It's barely worth the paper it's printed on. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by silver. It's not backed by anything. But cash is no longer even worth cash. It's almost like using credit, and it really is. You know, our government, for every dollar the Federal Reserve prints, our government pays. It's a self-generating debt that the government can never get out of. The Federal Reserve was one of the biggest frauds ever perpetrated on the American people, ever. And it made all the bankers billionaires, literally overnight, because they now could just print money out of thin air. I mean, that's crazy. The Federal Reserve, in my opinion, the Federal Reserve destroyed the United States as we know it. When, who was it, Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act into, for one thing, they didn't even have enough votes to ratify it. That's what was really funny. They had like, I think they had to have, I don't know, 17 or something. I don't know I don't remember exactly. So I'm not going to quote something that I can't back up. But I do know that they ended up with like they only had like 13 states, and they didn't have nearly enough. They had to have at least 20, I think. I'm not quoting that. Those are pretty much guesstimates. But anyway, it was never really ratified. However, Wilson did sign it into law that the Federal Reserve would, from that point forward, would coin and print all the money and therefore determine the value thereof. So it states. Then he went on to say, when his term was up, he went on to give a speech and to say to the American people that he had unwittingly and unknowingly destroyed his country by turning over the overseeing of the money to the Federal Reserve bankers. And he realized that he had sold out his own country. That he basically admitted he was a traitor. You know? Oh, I might as well put this in here too while I'm doing this, because I'm going to do this real quick. Okay, this is a 1099 form. You can go, anybody can go get one of these. I'm sure you know somebody that has their own business to get 1099s themselves. I think you can pick them up at the post office. But I want you to see something, and even if you can't read this, I'm going to read it. It says right here, box 6. I want everybody to go out and get a 1099 form and look at it. If you don't believe me, this has been, I altered this only to take out, this is the person's actual form who got their return. They're on disability, and their actual income for the year was non-taxable total benefits for 2012 was $9,000. I mean, shit, who the fuck could live on that? But anyway, if you look at box 6 on a 1099 form from the Social Security, this just happens to be what the 1099 statement is for that. Box 6 says, voluntary federal income tax withheld. Should I say that again? Voluntary. The word voluntary. Right here. If you can't read it, I'm showing it to you anyway, but that's what it says. V-O-L-U-N-T-A-R-Y. Voluntary. Not mandatory. Voluntary federal income tax. Voluntary. See that word none? I'm going to tell you right now. I know that there's several, there's a congresswoman, I don't remember her name, but she gives the actual statistics about how many millions of Americans don't file a federal income tax return or don't pay federal income tax because it is a voluntary tax. They even have to put it on the form. Voluntary. It's not mandatory. Guess what, people? You don't have to pay income tax. Hello? Seriously, you're fucking nuts if you let them take federal income tax out of your check. You are a fucking idiot. You are stupid. And if you say, oh, what's going to pay for infrastructure? What's going to pay for this? Do you know how many taxes that you pay that are mandatory taxes? That from gas taxes to pay for the roads to taxes on liquor, cigarettes, certain foods, prepared foods are taxed. Some foods in the store that aren't even prepared foods are taxed. I like the law here. I like the soda pop return bottle law. Check this out. Soda. Anything that's carbonated is returnable. If it's non-carbonated, it's not returnable. So if it has bubbles in it, you can return it. If it doesn't have bubbles, you don't get no money. It turns into garbage. It ends up in waste sites. or gets thrown into rivers or lakes. Would they say there was enough water bottles? By the way, those water bottles are laced with bisphenol A, and all that money that people spend on bottled water. If you look at it, it's if you read real carefully, most of it's from a municipal water supply. You're drinking glorified fucking tap water, people. Wake up! It still has chlorine, still has fluoride, still has all these particulates. I have a water source for artesian spring water, pure water from the earth with nothing in it but pure minerals from the earth, and it doesn't taste like anything. I can smell the water coming out of our faucet. At my house and at my girlfriend's apartment, I can smell the chemicals in the water. Now that I quit drinking it, I can smell them. Now I smoke cigarettes, and people go, well, fuck, man, there's, 400 different chemicals that they know of in a cigarette. But see, this is what it's about. It's about choice. You want to drink fucking poison water? Fine. I want to smoke poison cigarettes? That's fine. But guess what? Inevitably, it's my decision. The government doesn't tell me what the fuck to do. They don't tell me what water to drink. They don't tell me what time to fucking go to bed, what time to shit, what time to piss, what time to get up. They don't tell me nothing. Nobody tells me what the fuck to do. You know? I have a First Amendment right, and I will use it. And they've already tried to provocateur me. My brother's a fucking fed. I don't care anymore. I'm dumping this shit. This shit's going on a YouTube channel today. And I'm going to make sure I don't go past 15 minutes. Anyway, I'm done. But this is going up now. Peace. Wake up, people. Wake up. John Kennedy set it up. And that's why he's dead. They ain't going to come after me. You know, I mean, I almost can't. I get a phone call. I'll share this last thing with you, and then I'm done. I get a phone call. Some guy says, yeah, Mr. So-and-so? Yeah, that's him. Well, I got your powder. And I said, powder? What the fuck? I didn't even know. First off, I didn't know what the fuck I didn't know what he was talking about. And I said, what the fuck kind of powder? What are you talking about? Who is this? Well, I got some on back order, man, but, I said, what kind of fucking powder are you talking about, man? He said, MY1 or something. I said, what? And to this day, I still don't know what the fuck he was talking about. I don't know what he was talking about. I still don't know. So I said, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You got the wrong motherfucker, because I ain't the one. Click. And I don't know. Well, I believe I was trying to be set up. And you might think I'm crazy, but it's a day after. My brother works for the feds, and the day after I call, leave him a shitty message about about him disowning me because he works for the feds, and about about how he exploits his son. He has a message on his answering machine, and he's had the same one. He let his son do it. And at the end of it, he goes, quack, quack, out of here. And it sounds so. He's my nephew, and he sounds like it's some stupid, corny, fucking Brady Bunch show from back in the fucking 60s or 70s or whatever. You know, I mean, it's just fucking retarded. And he's had the same message on there for like 5 years. I said, at least let the kid change the message. The next day, my sister's phone number's changed. I came and call her, and I got some guy calling me to ask me to buy some powder or something. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So you tell me. Anyway, I don't sit in a closet wearing tinfoil hats and fucking I'm not crazy, motherfuckers, alright? I know what the fuck's going on. Y'all think what you want, but do some research, because I can back up every fucking thing I say. Everything. I can back every fucking thing I say up. I don't talk about shit I can't prove. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm done. I gotta get this up. Bye.